Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Silverstone. Giancarlo and Adam Barker have the front row. Nick Sorensen, Harry Volsmir on the second row. Simon Zierk and Yannick Gunther now in the third row. Mike Dalling and Mike Marshall on the fourth. Rudolph Gunther and rookie Wessel Stevens rounding out the field. And folks, don't forget, you can still join NSS even though it's the beginning of the season. They will have drop races, so you guys could still get out here and go racing with them as the season goes on. Drivers making last-minute adjustments. Now remember, we have a 20-minute sprint race followed by the endurance race this morning. And between the races, the top 7 from race 1 will invert going into race 2. Hey, good morning, Richie. Hopefully we see Richie Joplin out here this season. The drivers are rolling. And it looks like they are not doing full pace laps this season. As the Porsche pace car hits pit road, here we go through the final turns. Giancarlo in that Nintendo car in control at the start. Out of the final turn, green flag is in the air. The new season is here. Through that first couple of turns, everybody still nose to tail. And side by side, we'll be keeping a close eye on the... Oh! Whoa, we've got Rudolph Gunther around. And we'll be keeping it... Oh, no, the rookie is around. I was going to say we're keeping a close eye on the rookie Wessel Stevens this morning, but a rough start for him. Simon Zierk lost a little ground the first couple of turns. He is back on the attack. And it's worth mentioning there is a change to the points this season. They do have a pro and an amateur division. Each and every week, only 2 amateurs in the field this morning. Harry Volsmir and Mike Marshall, the 2 drivers who currently qualify in the amateur division. Giancarlo continues to lead, but that Ferrari on the long straights here at Silverstone is definitely going to have a bit of an advantage. However, the Porsche does handle better. Into the tight turns where the Porsche shines. Most of the field still close. In fact, most of the field within about 2 seconds at the moment as they cross the start-finish line for lap 1. Let's take a look quickly at the lap 1 incidents. First, the incident with Rudolph Gunther as he tries to shoot down to the inside of the turn. Oh, just got too far in, got into the rookie, goes around, quickly recovers it, but loses a lot of ground. Then as we saw the rookie, Wessel Stevens in the new McLaren, on the power, just not up to speed, trying to full power it. He goes around. And Rudolph Gunther had an incident a moment ago as well. I think he clipped the sausage and the car just slid out. Giancarlo continues to lead. Adam in second, Sorensen now in third, Harry in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth, Yannick Gunther in sixth. Mike Marshall up to seventh, but he is having quite a battle with Mike Dalling. Mike Dalling in that Conliff Esports BMW this morning. Rudolph Gunther has gone to pit road. Wessel Stevens, after problems back in ninth, trying to make up some ground. Going good, Richie. How are you, buddy? Looks like Rudolph Gunther dropped into pit road for repair. He's already on his way back out. This track is definitely one that a lot of parts of it are about having your rhythm right, your timing right, and being extremely smooth here. Giancarlo did set the fastest lap last time by. Adam Barker now just over 1 second behind in second place, Harry in third. A close battle between Harry and Nick. Harry has the advantage in the turns, Nick has the advantage in the straightaways. These two have been close and back and forth a lot over the course of this race. That has allowed Simon to stay right behind them. All good, Richie. I knew what you meant, buddy. Hey, good morning, Supersonic Misfit. As it looks like Harry has lost some ground, Yannick is on the attack. Harry now back into fifth after that exchange. Yannick right on his bumper. Yannick did finally get a new nickname for this season. Although his nickname is Yomer, and I have not seen the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I don't get it. Giancarlo out front, extending his lead little by little over Adam. Sorensen holds on to third. Simon now up into fourth. Harry back in fifth after that exchange with Sorensen, however. We have seen Harry come from further back in the past. See if we can see what happened when Sorensen was battling with Harry. Oh, Harry just went way wide, out of shape, gathers it up and gets the track back, but lost all that ground. Giancarlo has a 1 1/4 second lead over Barker. Keeping an eye on Simon for a moment. Going through that last section, it looked like the BMW able to take the turn a little bit tighter while carrying the speed. That BMW may have a bit of an advantage here this morning. Simon did set his fastest lap last time by, but it was still slower than the fastest lap of our leader. In fact, only the top two drivers have got a lap in under the 2:02 mark. No, I stand corrected. There is a third driver that is under the 2:02 mark. It is the rookie Wessel Stevens, who is closing in on the cars ahead. He is 1 1/4 seconds behind the Mikes. Mike Marshall in 8th, Mike Dolling in 7th. That new McLaren working very, very well for him. Hey, good morning, Pudsey. Don't forget, the top 7 will invert going into race 2. That position that will be on the pole is currently held by Mike Dolling in the BMW. Adam Barker set his fastest lap last time by and is still losing ground to the leader, Giancarlo. Nick Sorensen in 3rd is closing in on 2nd place. Barker, Simon Zierk also on the move. But Harry Volsmeer, after that incident and losing a couple of spots, he is back on the attack. He is almost caught up to Simon. And at the moment, Harry is the fastest driver on track. As I mentioned earlier, you just never count Harry out. The two drivers really that have been known to make huge comebacks, Harry Volsmeer and Giancarlo. Giancarlo out front. Harry had that incident a few moments ago, but he is back on the attack. And it is Sunday, folks, and don't forget we've got a lot of racing today. GT3 NSS right now. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern, the BRR Cup Series final race of the regular season before they go to the playoffs. And at 9:30 Eastern, the SMR Gen 4. If you've not seen one of those races, check them out on our YouTube channel. That has been some amazing racing. Pudsey has been really good so far and looking forward to the invert in race 2. And Richie Joplin cheering on Nick Sorensen back in 3rd. Hope you have a great day, Richie. And Harry has just about caught up to Simon. He's just 7/10 of a second back. Harry continues to be the fastest car on track in that black Porsche. Speaking of fast cars on track, the second fastest at the moment is the rookie Wessel Stevens, who got caught up in both of the first 2 incidents, has dropped back all the way to 10th, has fought his way to 8th, and is closing in on 7th place, Mike Dolling. Whoa, Harry goes for a drift. Oh, the heartbreak. Harry was on the move. It got to Simon's back bumper. Harry goes off into the turn. He was right to Simon's back bumper. Just gets on the power a little too early. Does complete the 360 and gets rolling again, but a heartbreak. Harry was on the attack and gaining a lot of ground. Giancarlo has extended his lead now to 2.8 seconds over Adam. Sorensen is closing back in. Simon still holds on to 4th. Yannick currently in 5th. Harry back in 6th. Mike Dolling in 7th is closing in on Harry now. But Mike has his own problem. Wessel Stevens, the rookie in the new McLaren, on the move. Giancarlo may get the white flag this time by for race 1. Race 2 is definitely where the action is gonna be. With the top 7 inverting, 10 cars in the field, Wessel Stevens is trying to get to that 7th place so he can be on the pole for race 2. It's gonna be close. As Giancarlo comes through the final turns, we'll see if Barney the flagman has the white flag out this time. He should, based on how much time we have left. I do believe I saw Barney waving the white flag. The rookie is on pit road. And no, Barney is not waving the white. Wessel Stevens has come to pit road. This is an unexpected stop. He was on the move and on the attack. That leaves Mike Dolling for the moment secure in 7th. He will start race 2 on the pole if nothing changes. Nick Sorensen, though, in 3rd, is caught up to the back bumper of Adam Barker. Sorensen swinging a little bit wide, trying to carry as much momentum as is possible. While they battle behind, Giancarlo's lead extends to 4.3 seconds. And Simon Zierk is starting to close in. Will he have the time to get into the battle? Through the final turn, another dominant performance. Oh, Giancarlo has a problem. Through the final turns, he gathers it up. He has enough of a lead, it will not matter. Giancarlo wins race 1 at Silverstone. Adam Barker comes home in 2nd and Sorensen in 3rd. That was a bit of a dramatic finish for that one. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Nick Sorensen. Nick, you went on the attack late in that race, just not enough time left.
Yeah, unfortunately I made a couple of mistakes there in the first half and then was able to, catch back up to Adam a little bit, so yeah, good start to the season.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting battle coming from the back. You guys, everybody's fairly equal on lap times right now. It's going to be really close and a fight to get through the traffic.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to look out for. Is I think there will be a little bit of fighting, so hopefully we have a good race.
Well, good luck and congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
And our defending champ comes home in 2nd place. Adam, 2nd place. Not a bad start to the season for the defending champ.
Yeah, really good start. Interesting start to the race. Realized I'd put just the right amount of fuel in, so I really needed to save a little bit in the middle stage of the race. It's where I sort of lost Giancarlo there. If I'd have had a little bit more fuel, I think maybe I'd have been able to push it a little bit more. But yeah, Giancarlo was super quick around here. Hopefully, we can get through the traffic pretty quick and use the Ferrari power.
Well, knowing how close you were on fuel, going into race 2, you've got a longer race. Obviously, you're going to max out the fuel, but is it going to change the strategy at all? Do you need to conserve to make this a one-stop race?
No, we'll be good for obviously we have to pit once, but that's we're gonna have enough. I just took the bare minimum that I was that I could take, and I pushed it a little bit too much. Got a little bit too adventurous with the fuel limit. Just meant I had to lift and coast into certain bits, which meant I lost Giancarlo there and started to fall into the clutches of Nick. But I make sure I've got enough fuel this time. Hopefully don't fill it up too much, and then full throttle the entire way then.
Well, good luck. A great start for the defending champ.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And our winner from race 1, Giancarlo, not surprising, you're back in victory lane already.
Yeah, it was thankfully was able to just get out ahead at the start and keep a relatively consistent pace.
It's going to be an interesting one going into race 2. You have to come from 7th, and there were some fast cars back behind you. At some points in the race, that new McLaren was actually faster than you were.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, starting in the more or less the middle of the pack towards the end, we're going to have to take it easy, bide our time. It is a long race, so we'll see what we can do.
And I have to ask, is the Porsche the wise choice for here? We obviously know it lacks the top-end speed on the long straightaways. It has the advantage through the turns, but there are some good straightaways where the Ferrari just seems to run you down.
Definitely. Straight line speed is rough, especially on the first few laps with cold tires. The Porsche does like to come around. The rear likes to spin on you, so it really got to be careful there. It's going to be maybe a slow start for me in the second race.
Well, good luck. A great start to this, and if only it was raining, that Porsche would be the fastest by a lot.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the next time it rains.
Hopefully so. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Giancarlo gets the win in race 1, now starting in 7th for race 2. Definitely going to be a lot of fun watching this with the top 7 invert. You see the drivers practicing getting to pit road. They've got to try and get as much as they can on entry before they hit the speed limit cone. And it looks like the rookie Wessel Stevens is rolling out. That new McLaren looks super fast this morning. All right, here we go into race number 2. And didn't get a good listen on that new McLaren, but it did sound. We're going to have to try and get a listen in on that new McLaren and its engine. It sounded pretty good there. Almost as good as the Mercedes. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Race 2, Mike Doling and Harry Volsmir on the front row. Yannick Gunther, Simon Zierk on the second row. Nick Sorensen, Adam Barker of the third row. Giancarlo, after winning, he will start in 7th. Mike Marshall in 8th. Wessel Stevens in 9th. And Rudolf Gunther rounds out the 10-car field here this morning. And we do expect several drivers back next week as well, so you definitely want to come back next Sunday morning. I do believe next Sunday is the return of Nicole. That's what she said, Creasel. The Porsche pace car already on pit road. Mike Dolling in control of the start. There they go through that final turn. Mike is fired. They are away. Green flag is in the air. Yannick Gunther on the attack already, looks underneath Harry. But Harry sends it through that first turn and holds on to second. Meanwhile, everybody battling back behind. Adam and Giancarlo side by side. Oh! Adam got into Nick. Nick's around. And the rookie is on the move. Wessel Stevens already up to 6th. Remember, Wessel had some of the fastest laps in race 1. We were definitely keeping a close eye on him. Mike Dolling still holds the lead. Harry in 2nd. Yannick in 3rd. Simon in 4th. Adam Barker in 5th. Wessel Stevens, Giancarlo, Mike Marshall, Rudolph Gunther, all right there. Sorensen has lost a lot of ground. Harry Volsmir was on the attack, but had a couple of problems in race 1 that set him way back. He's currently sitting in 2nd, battling with Dolling. Yannick staying within striking distance. As they are battling into the final chicane, Wessel trying to make the move on Barker on the high side. Couldn't complete the pass yet, but man, everybody knows Wessel and that McLaren are here now. See if we can dial up our in-car camera for that McLaren. Oh, that McLaren does sound good. It's interesting that mid-mounted exhaust on the McLaren. We saw it in the old McLaren that it often spit fire. See if we can ride along with Giancarlo back behind. See if the new McLaren does in fact spit fire again. Does? Oh, yep, it is spitting fire. That new McLaren, as we mentioned, only came out a couple of days ago. I believe it came out Thursday, so not a lot of time for the drivers to get used to it. But Wessel's got it figured out. He is making the move on Barker. He's got the nose in. Oh, contact! Wessel not giving an inch. The rookie letting him know he is here. Barker went way wide. keeps his foot in it. Barker holds him off again. Let's take a look at that early incident with Nick Sorensen. There's Nick in the black and white Ferrari, shoots to the outside on Simon, and looks like Adam just drove in there. Looking down from the blimp. Oh, Adam just slides a little bit wide, barely clips him. But Sorensen goes around. Everybody manages to avoid him, but he lost a lot of ground. Meanwhile, second place, Harry Volsmir just set the fastest lap so far. Mike Dolling still holds the lead for the moment, but Harry is right there on his bumper. Yannick up to third. This battle back here for 5th, 6th, and 7th ongoing. Now, Mike Marshall is involved in 8th. Rudolph Gunther back behind in 9th, and Sorensen is catching him. Sorensen less than 2.5 seconds behind the pack. They continue to battle. Nick is going to get closer and closer. Wessel, the rookie in the field in the brand new car. And the rest of this field is now aware he is here and he is fast. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling just set the fastest lap in the BMW. And Rudolph Gunther has had a problem back behind. There's Rudolph, who's trying to close back up on Mike Marshall. Overshoots the turn, same place Harry had a problem last time. Gets it gathered up and going, but did lose the position to Sorensen and lost some ground. Harry Volsmir right on the bumper of the leader, Mike Dolling. Remember, Harry will have the advantage in the turns. The BMW is the most balanced car out here. It does not have a significant advantage anywhere, but it is the most balanced and the most stable. And at the moment, it is leading the race. Nick Sorensen, who has moved back up into 9th place, just set the fastest lap. He is closing on the pack ahead. Gaining quickly on 8th place, Mike Marshall. Giancarlo keeps peeking it out, but he can't find a way around the rookie. Hudsey, yes, Mike Dolling does have the 420 number, and yes, that's for legitimate. Let me put it this way. That is for the reason you think it is. Adam Barker has started to pull away from the rookie and Giancarlo. Adam did say he wanted to get away quickly and early. It's taken him a while to get away from Giancarlo, but he is now opening up a small gap. And yes, since it's the start of the season, we will point out a couple of other things. I don't believe Hello Kitty is packing on this paint scheme, but on several of the Hello Kitty paint schemes, Hello Kitty is well armed. That paint scheme you'll see throughout the year that Mike Dolling is driving, that is the Conlift Esports team. You can check them out, conlift-esports.com, and see their upcoming races. They are the team of many of these drivers that gets together. I'm sorry, it's conlift-racing.com. Several of these drivers do get together. The next race will be October 18th and 19th when they take on the iRacing Petite Le Mans at Road Atlanta. Schedules permitting, we will be broadcasting that event with this team. Sorensen continues to close in. He is 1.2 seconds behind Mike Marshall. Giancarlo still has his hands full with the rookie. Adam Barker has pulled ahead to 1.5 seconds. Wessel defending. Here comes Giancarlo, but he can't get it done. I may have to do some testing in that McLaren. Whoa, a little bit of a slide for Wessel, but he holds on to it. I might have to do some testing in that McLaren this week. Harry Volsmir has been all over Dolling's back bumper for a while, has been unable to make the move. That has allowed Yannick Gunther, Simon Zierk to get a little bit closer. Adam Barker is about 3.7 seconds back, but he is gaining. Giancarlo looked again, but couldn't make the move on the McLaren. And as thanks for not passing, that McLaren just shoots fire at him. Nick Sorensen, who had that early incident, has caught up to 8th place. Mike Marshall. Harry Volsmir has had a problem. Harry was looking for a way to take the lead. Oh, just overshoots. It's like he missed his braking point. Looking down from the blimp. Oh, I think he caught the bump. I think he caught the sausages. It sent him off track. He gets it gathered up, but a hard hit. He lost his front clip and has gone to pit road. Folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. And don't forget, you do have a little less than 12 hours left to get in on the drawing tomorrow night, when we will give away 2 new iRacing memberships and Arkansas DLC for American Truck Sim. Harry has completed repairs, is back out on track. He did make a full stop. Does appear he has got tires and fuel a little bit early, but can he go the distance from here? Here we mentioned it in race 1. Harry is just amazing at making comebacks. You don't count him out till the checkered flag flies. After Harry's incident, Mike Dolling has a 1.4 second lead over Yannick and Simon. Adam Barker about 4 seconds back. Wessel Stevens is closing in on everybody ahead, but Dolling just set the fastest lap. And surprisingly, so far in race 2, nobody has broken the 202 mark. Dolling is the closest, 202.01. Giancarlo and Sorensen have had a problem back behind. Giancarlo won race number 1. Trying to get around the rookie, just goes around, and Sorensen nowhere to go, just barely gives him a love tap. There's Nick coming into the turn. He was already on the brakes, sees Giancarlo sliding. He tried to cut under. Mike Marshall gets a 2 for 1. Mike Dolling way out front at the moment, now has a 1.8 second lead, and that lead is growing. Adam Barker still about 4 seconds back, but Barker is in trouble. The rookie, Wessel Stevens, is coming quickly. Wessel now not having to defend He ended up about 2 seconds behind Barker, but he is closing that gap. Mike Marshall, who picked up a couple of spots with that last incident, now up into 6th. Sorensen and Giancarlo both closing in quickly. Also note, the end of last season and the start of this season, we see Mike in the Corvette. He finally gave up on trying to get that Ford GT3 onto the podium, saying it was a wayward mess. This rookie, his first race in NSS competition, has really been impressive. He battled side by side with the defending champ, Adam Barker, and former champ, Giancarlo, and neither of them could make a move. Simon Zierka's just taken second place from Yannick. Let's take a look at this. Simon had been lurking but had not attacked all morning. Yannick in the port. Oh, it just gets loose, drifts it out, gathers it up, but it was just enough for Simon to slip by. That was definitely a move we've come to expect from Simon. Simon now in second place. Can he run down the other BMW? As we have seen race after race, season after season, Simon does not push until he absolutely has to. He just sits on another driver's bumper and waits for them to make a mistake. Have not checked in on Harry in a while. Back in 10th. He is closing quickly on Rudolph Gunther, and last time by, Harry was the fastest car on track. When pit stops shake out, it'll be interesting to see, as it looks like Giancarlo is making his stop. Giancarlo may be stopping short just to play the strategy, get himself out of traffic for a few moments. Giancarlo is up, so he will take tires. We know that Harry, when he stopped, took tires and fuel, as well as repairs. Could a little bit of bad luck that Harry had earlier on end up working in his favor. If Harry does not have to make a fuel stop, he may very well pass a lot of drivers on strategy. He is now just behind Giancarlo. Mike Dolling is extending his lead over Simon. Yannick still right there in third. Barker in fourth, less than 2 seconds behind now. And Wessel Stevens, who holds fifth, 3 seconds behind Barker and holding. Hey, thanks, Pudsey. Nick Sorensen has taken 6 back from Mike Marshall and is now coming to pit road. Mike Marshall in the Corvette stays out. We've seen Mike with a couple of different paint schemes on that Corvette, and none of them have looked bad. That Corvette, just every paint scheme on it looks beautiful. Sorensen comes down, hits his pit stall. He is up for tires. Harry continuing to close the gap on 9th place, Giancarlo. Sorensen still on pit road as they come by. The early pit strategy may come into play. These two drivers may pick up quite a few spots. And don't forget, take a moment today, go check out conlift-racing.com. And on our YouTube channel, we do have a playlist, just the Conlift Esports races that we have broadcast. You can see a lot of racing from Daytona, Bathurst, and others. Everybody's positions at the moment seem to be a little bit stable. Doling out front by 2.9 seconds over Simon. Yannick still right there with Simon, about a second back. Adam about 2.25 seconds back in fourth. But that gap has stabilized. He is not closing. Wessel Stevens has lost a little bit of ground. But Giancarlo on fresh tires is moving. He just set the fastest lap and is the first driver under 202. 201.82. Under 202 around this 3.97 mile track. That is a blistering lap in these cars. Mike Marshall still holds on to 6th place. And here we go. Yannick Gunther is on pit road. Wessel Stevens, the rookie, is coming in. They get loaded up as they come toward that cone. Mike Marshall coming in. At those cones, they have to be down to pit road speed. Then they engage their pit road speed limiter. and make that long, slow drive to their pit stalls. Rudolph Gunther now in as well, and I promise you, coming down pit road at any track, but this one has a long pit road, it is painfully slow. Hey, morning, Chrissy. Doing good, buddy. How are you? Pudsey, that is on my wish list. I really, really want to play it. Giancarlo just beat his own fastest lap. He ran a 2:01.57. Chrissy, sounds like me yesterday, buddy. Giancarlo is definitely on the attack. He is now up to 5th. The top 4 have not pitted, but here the leader is now in. Mike Dolan comes to pit road. Simon Zierk is in. Adam Barker is in. Yannick Gunther currently in 4th place. Will he be able to make a move here? Giancarlo has the fastest lap, back in 5th. Harry Volsmere on the comeback, currently in 6th place. This is going to get, as the driver's coming around, Dolling on his way off pit road. Yannick coming through the turn. Who's it going to be? Dolling still coming up to speed. Yannick at full chat, but it looks like Dolling will hold him off. Simon Zierk holds on to 3rd. Barker back in 4th. Giancarlo has closed a lot of ground the last 2 laps, setting the 2 fastest laps of the race in a row. Chrissy, we are at Silverstone this morning, so I bet you do. Dolling still out front, but Yannick is closing in. And I will look up Yannick's new nickname over the week and make sure I understand it better next week. He unfortunately had the Best Gunther nickname removed after finishing the season and several races last season better than Max. His new nickname being Eomer, which has something to do with Lord of the Rings. Simon in 3rd. Barker in 4th. Giancarlo set another fast lap. 2:01.54 as he closes in on Barker. Rudolph Gunther has had a problem. He has dropped to 10th. Let's see what just happened. Oh, Rudolph, the back end steps out. Fortunately, got enough grip on that pit road exit that he avoided getting into the wall. But the grass slipping him around, it took him a moment to gather it up. He does recover, but loses a lot of ground. Oh, that is awesome. Thank you, Chrissy. Giancarlo continuing to close the gap on Barker. Hey, good morning, Duchess. Yannick Gunther continuing to close the gap on the leader, Mike Dolling. Simon Zierk sits in third. Barker in fourth. Giancarlo in fifth, continuing to close the gap. Wessel Stevens appears to have gotten a penalty on. There is Wessel, the rookie, who appears to have gotten a penalty while he was on pit road, a heartbreaker. The rookie has been extraordinarily fast, battling with the best of NSS all morning, now back into 8th. Giancarlo is closing back in on Adam Barker. And very good luck to you, Stace, on the application. Giancarlo continues to be the fastest car on track. Giancarlo continuing to close the gap on Barker. Both drivers currently faster than the leader, but too far back this late in the race to affect any kind of change to the podium. But Simon and Yannick both at the moment closing in on the leaders. Adam Barker, the defending champ and 5-time champ, the most championships of any driver in NSS history. Even the man behind Giancarlo only has 3. Simon Zierk still closing in little by little. But watching the lap times, he is closing in little by little, but it may not be enough. Harry Volsmir is in a problem on his comeback charge. There's Harry in the black Porsche. Oh, pushed it too hard on corner exit and gets the outside wall again. And does have significant damage to the car. Looking down from the blimp, let's see if he clipped a sausage. He did. He clipped the sausage again. Just enough grass while he was trying to gather it up that sent him around into the wall. Here he does have significant damage to the front of the car that is going to slow him down. That splitter is really banged up and much higher in the air than it should be. Simon Zierk in third, continuing to try and close the gap on Yannick. Yannick now less than a second behind the leader. Adam Barker, meanwhile, has his hands full with Giancarlo. That is the battle for fourth and fifth. Oh, and despite his penalty, Wessel Stevens, the rookie, is up to seventh and closing in on sixth place, Nick Sorensen. You know, over the last couple of years, we have seen drivers come into NSS, very good road racers, but has struggled against guys like Barker and Giancarlo. But Wessel Stevens, the rookie this morning, man, he has had, oh, Giancarlo a bit wide. Wessel Stevens in his rookie debut race has been extremely impressive. So the battle is closing up in the top three, and the battle for fourth and fifth closing up as well. With 7 minutes left to go, the top three less than 2 seconds apart. Nick Sorensen back in sixth, is quite a ways behind Giancarlo and Barker, but as those two battle, he is closing the gap extremely quickly. And up front, Simon is right to the bumper of second place, Yannick Gunther. Mike Dalling definitely wants to look in his mirror and see these two battle. That will allow him to pull away. But if they get to him, they don't call Mike the Minister of Defense for nothing. We have seen countless times drivers have caught Mike. They can't get past him. Giancarlo making a move on Barker. Remember, the Ferrari is better on the straights. The Porsche is better in the turns. But Adam is making sure he covers the preferred line. He is not making it easy for Giancarlo. Hey, good morning, Cowboy. Thank you, buddy. Dolling's lead now less than 1 second. Here comes Simon and Yannick. They have stopped battling for the moment. Barker and Giancarlo have definitely not stopped battling. Does not look like Barney is waving the white flag yet. Hey, good morning, Tomo. Good morning. Oh! Adam barely saved that. Adam is definitely slinging that Ferrari everywhere in the corner, trying to... Giancarlo goes almost to the grass. Adam doing everything he can in the Ferrari in the turns to keep Giancarlo behind. Dolling still has a gap, and Yannick now putting some space between Simon. The top three spreading out a little bit, but fourth and fifth, there is no room between them. Meanwhile, Sorensen continues to close that gap. They continue to battle. He may get there. And the rookie, despite his penalty, up to 7th in the new McLaren. Giancarlo staying right in the slipstream of the Ferrari, negating the straightaway disadvantage of the Porsche. Now he's going to attempt to make a move in the final turns. Giancarlo looks to the outside through the first turn, cuts it low, he's got the line. The Ferrari just holding him off. Giancarlo looks to the inside, he's got the nose in, both of them bobble. And Barker pulls ahead again. Simon closing back in on second place, Yannick closing back in on the leader, Mike Dolling. And Giancarlo's got to run down to the inside. Now Barker has the inside and pulls back ahead. Giancarlo cuts low. He's going to try and make the move. Cuts it all the way to the apron, side by side down the straight. Whoa, they touch coming out of the turn. The Ferrari power just takes advantage on the short straightaway. There's still a battle up in the top three, but nobody has an advantage Mike Dolling out of the final turn, should see the white flag this time. I did not see, surprisingly, Barney waving the flag. Wessel Stevens, the rookie, is on pit road. Dolling has opened up a 1.5 second lead on Simon, who has just taken second. Simon had been lurking right behind. Yannick just went wide on entry. Looked like he had a slowdown. Dolling now has a big lead, 1.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Barker still has his hands full. Giancarlo looking outside this time. Barker holds him off through those turns. But Giancarlo gets the better exit. He's got to run. They are door banging down the... Oh! Giancarlo bumps off of him. And through the final turn, Mike Dolling will get it done. Mike Dolling wins at Silverstone. Simon coming home in second. Yannick finishes third. And Adam Barker, with some last lap battling, holds on to fourth. And that's how you celebrate. Throw a Ferrari into the stands. Let's talk to that top three. Actually, before we talk to the top three, let's see if we can get a word with Giancarlo about that battle at the end. Hey, Giancarlo, you got me?
Yeah.
Are you aware that these are GT3s and not, NASCAR cars?
We had a little bit of fun. We were bumping and bashing. It was great racing overall.
It definitely was great racing, and I had to give you a shout out there, buddy. Man, that was an awesome last lap. Great job.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, now we'll talk to our top three, starting with Yannick Gunther. Yannick, you come home with third, but on the last lap there, you lost second place. What happened?
Hey, Doug. I had to save fuel. I came over the line with 0.1 liter, so I had to back off a lot, so I actually make it. Well,
that kind of hurts, but you still come home with a podium, man. That was a great run today.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Too bad that I had to let Simon pass, but there was no way that I could make it. I realized too late that I had to save fuel and didn't put in enough.
Well, great job. Great racing, buddy.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Simon Zierk comes home in second. Simon, a heck of a battle and a last lap pass due to a fuel situation. You come home in second.
Oh, that was a really good start to the season. I did a different strategy than everybody else. I took 4 tires in the pits, and I gained a lot of time on track then, but the race was too short. A little more laps, and it would have paid out, but not yet. But it was a good result.
It definitely was, and you guys put on one heck of a show, one heck of a battle. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
And finally, our winner, the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolling. Mike, yeah, that was a great win. Strategy played a factor, but you were just fast right from the get-go.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I didn't really have much of a strategy, to be honest with you, Doug. My strategy was just to try and stay clean and just keep people behind me. I had a little moment with Harry. That was fun, where he was trying to overtake me, so I was battling with him. And then I was just spent the race just trying to stay ahead of Yannick and Simon after Harry took a bit of a whoopsie. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it went, but there was no real strategy there, Doug. It was just trying to just stay ahead of them.
I have to say, once you saw those two battling behind you, swapping positions and the fuel situation, did you take a big breath of relief?
Yes, I did. I'm like, because I chose not to take tires as well. I did not want to have any issues in the pits, so I just took fuel. And so I was nursing my front left tire a little bit, but I couldn't let off because I couldn't. I didn't want them to close the gap. So yeah, there was when they had a couple of moments, I was like, whew. So it gave me a bit of breathing room. But I think if I would have had to do it maybe 4 or 5 more laps, I think my tires would have given up. So I was happy when it ended.
I imagine so, man. One heck of a finish. Congratulations, starting the season with a win. Great job, buddy.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Well, Mike Dolan gets the win. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, 7:30 Eastern here tonight. BRR Cup Series back on track, and SMR Gen 4 racing starts at 9:30 Eastern, so still more great racing to come. Hope everybody had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, everybody.